Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
I monitor the stream to see if it's
Hi,
working.
welcome to TFYLP, episode 621. We are live tonight. It is Thursday, June 5th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by... is Phil coming back? I'm joined tonight by Anna.
Where's tonight? Look at me. Hello.
And Rob.
Hi.
And Christian.
What up? And Anna, you had to take the first from me eventually.
And Phil.
Hello. Can everybody hear and see me?
Kinda.
I think so, as far as I can tell. So, hopefully this is our new streaming solution. We tried it out last week and did kind of a test stream and impromptu thing. It seemed to work. So, we're hoping that this is the solution. So, we're using like a screen share of a Discord chat. So, if everyone in the chat or whoever's out there or whatever can let us know if there's any audio issues or video issues or anything like that.
I want to thank Skype for closing so that I finally got these old fogies on freaking Discord after like 20 years of trying to talk them
10
into
years younger
actually
than you.
using Discord. You're 1,000 years older than me when you don't use Discord. Gosh,
Use
get
Discord
this.
all the time. I just have to be summoned from the depths.
Yeah. You need to just give up on your
Skype
ducks.
works better with OBS and other streaming softwares. That's all it was.
It did. That's
R.I.P.
true.
Skype.
I just don't enjoy the fact that, like,
Right.
every year or two, there's a new app that people gravitate towards. And then,
Discord's been popular for like 7 years, man.
No, I
It's
get
been
that.
the boss for a long time.
but this was like, it was the app that kind of came in vogue like 5-7 years ago, like you said. And like some people use it, and some
In
people
vogue?
have left
you gotta
it and
free your
use
mind.
a new app. I'm just saying, it's like every 2 or 3 years, there's a new app that everyone's supposed to jump onto. And that just gets
Phil
annoying.
can't take a new app every 3 years. I'm
Sound
sorry.
older, Phil.
Back in my
I-
day.
Right.
I do sound old. No, I like the one that like
Back
really
in my
gets me though.
day,
The one that really
came
gets me
through
is
the
has gotten
phone.
better are the payment apps. Because like I don't want to have to share my banking info with like a new app every like 6 months.
So don't.
I don't.
mean,
And then
Yeah,
people are
next
like,
you're going to say you don't know
Who
how
wants
to
the
use the
grid?
Hasbro Pulse app.
that I know how to use.
I didn't know there was one.
I bought Slice and Dice yesterday off of that.
No. People were
What?
complaining because apparently... What's wrong with the app, Anna, that is not
It
working?
wouldn't let you buy stuff.
What?
You just couldn't buy stuff. That's all.
Other than
Not a
that?
big deal.
Well, it's perfect
It
for
barely
me.
worked.
That's perfect. If it doesn't work...
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Great.
right. I usually can't log in on the app. I'll open it, try to log in, it doesn't work, and I just go back to the website like once every
Yeah.
2 months. So, although
Right.
now I'm kind of soured on Pulse, but that's not the topic for tonight. The topic for tonight is how you spend a lot of time trying to preserve your toy boxes, right? And then your gosh darn puppy just goes and says, "Well, good job there trying to preserve your toy boxes. I'm going to eat them." That's what happens. That's
you gotta get rid of that dog, Anna.
Don't put the toy
No,
box next to
don't
the
even
food
talk
bowl.
like that.
Wow.
She-
Oh, why don't you just get rid of Roxy, Christian? Why don't you
Roxy doesn't have
let
a
her go?
problem like Lilith does.
Right, I was gonna
She
say.
has problems. Everyone has problems.
She doesn't eat my collection.
Lilith doesn't.
Yet.
Lilith wasn't running away with the hand of one of my KOs yesterday or anything. Not at all.
Sure, why not? Why would she
She
do
loves-
that? Of course not.
He loves KO plastic.
Yeah.
I had tons of toys, like all sorts of different stuff as I was messing with my totes and everything. All surrounding me. She didn't touch any of it. She was just laying there being a good puppy. I got out the KOs. She grabbed one of the hands and ran off because she was like, KO plastic, my favorite.
I mean, that's better than
like
the
mother,
alternatives,
like
right?
daughter.
Kind of, Rob, but honestly, like, it's better from like a cost perspective. But as far as if my precious animal is going to consume a type of plastic, I feel like KO plastic might be the most dangerous.
Well, maybe she's heard about all these health benefits of microplastics, and so she's
She's
like, I'm going
like,
to
I
get
want
back
that
to
too.
plastic. Yeah.
KO plastic is known to have extra dinosaur bone in it, so that's just all she's smelling.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it has asbestos in
like
it.
drinking milk. All right, so tonight's topic actually was something really cool, right? We were going to talk about how this whole Studio Series Mega guy, whatever he's called, this gun man who isn't a
I
gun.
think it's Voltron.
Oh
King of
yeah, I believe
Decepticons.
it is actually.
King of the Decepticons, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
The most powerful king of the Decepticons ever.
I had one when I was
Voltron,
a
who
kid. It
doesn't
was
turn
all
into
metal.
a cat or gun, turns into a tank. And everybody's super excited about the Studio Series 86 Megatron. All right, that's the actual
Wait.
thing.
Are you being sincere or sarcastic right now?
I feel like people are excited. People have been talking about, I hope we get a Studio
He's
Series
been everywhere.
86 Megatron. And
No, there's a lot of people excited, but there's also a lot of people like, that's not my Megatron.
Well, from a word
What would they want?
perspective, excited is a neutral word, right? So you're excited, you're like physiological arousal's going up, you're feeling like kind of tense. And for some people that excitement is not
Oh,
good.
my.
I'm a psychologist. Physiological arousal doesn't mean what you think it does. Dirty people.
But it could.
I was gonna say, what are we talking about? What podcast is this?
This is Transformers for your listening pleasure. We're gonna basically think everything's an innuendo.
True enough. Anywho,
Put it in your endo.
People are either positively or negatively excited about this toy.
Ease me.
And as good fans, they will spend their time either pooping their pants excited to get it or complaining about it the entire time until it comes out and still buying it. Because that's what we do as a fandom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Those are
going
two
to
options.
take the Paul
Sounds legit.
line of thought on this. And the Paul line of thought on this is the more people pissed off about it right now, the better. Because those people aren't going to order it and they're going to miss out, and you're going to see them cry so many tears when this toy actually comes out, and they'll be all like, "Oh, I would have got this for a good price. I just, I missed out on the pre-order."
Phil, they don't want it for a good price.
Fanbro.
They want it for a decent price.
Decent price, yeah. But yeah, you're going to have so much FOMO with this. Not even FOMO. You're going to have people who are pissed that they missed out on it. It's going to be worse than the Studio Series Bumblebee Megatron that some people poo-pooed when they first saw it and didn't order it. And that toy became near impossible to find. I think I saw one in stores ever.
I poo-pooed it then, and I still poo-poo it now.
And that's fine. Consistency is fine. But what you're not going to have with this is consistency.
Right.
So what are people that are upset about it upset about?
Tank, not gun.
Yeah.
He's got blue legs, except he doesn't.
I mean, do they know? I mean, I get it, but it's going to be on Walmart shelves. It was never going to be a G1 gun, ever. It just is what it is. Your only option is going to be Masterpiece. That's it. You're never going to see anything.
If you're that worried about complete accuracy, then you should have bought the Masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, or third-party stuff like New Age stuff or something.
Right. So New Age did produce a Megatron to kind of sort of go with Studio Series 86 Optimus, except that they kind of planned it before Studio Series 86 Optimus came out, so they didn't realize how big he was going to be. So he's kind of small, right? It is a fancy toy, but it's over $100 most places. It does turn into a gun. It is at the level of quality and complexity that New Age is known for as a Legends company, but it's shorter than Optimus by probably an inch almost. So it's a little questionable. Yes, Mega Christian, go ahead.
Does it scale appropriately with the Earthrise or Siege Optimus?
Exactly. So it scales with Earthrise Optimus. So if you wanted to have a Megatron for your Earthrise Optimus so they can get married and live happily ever after, then that is the Megatron for you. Except that he will make Earthrise Optimus look kind of bad because Earthrise Optimus was, kind of a step back in complexity and everything. It's a good toy. Don't get me wrong. So, like, when it came out, people were putting it with their Earthrise Optimus, and it was like, okay, yeah, that kind of looks silly. Because you got this, like, fancy new age toy with multiple faces and optional battle damage and all that stuff next to Earthrise Optimus, which is a great toy, but not quite there. And then Studio Series 86 Optimus, I'm sorry, I was burping on the camera. It's so embarrassing. Came out and was bigger. And actually, like, in line with fanciness with the new age one, honestly, like, in look, he doesn't have multiple faces, but what Optimus does, right? What face? He takes faces because he doesn't have one.
Faces. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's big, and it doesn't go with that Megatron. So people kind of end up in this weird situation. So, yeah, that Megatron is out there. It exists. It's okay. I've heard neutral to good things about it. And yeah, you could have it. But there's another solution. And this is the weird solution that I've taken, is that after seeing the Action
Edition.
Class? Action Edition, thank you. Because it's Classic Class or Galaxy version and Action Edition. Thank you, Blockies, for making it sound different every time. So Blockies is putting out these Action Edition kits, which are roughly liter-ish size toys that are full-on model kits, Gun Plus style, that are actually crazy nice, right? Like, they are really good kits, like quality-wise, prettiness-wise, and all that stuff. And they announced that Soundwave, and that Soundwave looks incredible. And I was like, I really want that. It's not out yet. I want to know how good these are. I'm going to grab the Megatron. I got that thing, and it is splendid, right? He's a little bigger than the Optimus.
If people aren't happy with 86 Megatron because he doesn't turn into a gun, then how is a Blocky going to help them?
So that's the thing, right? Like, that is my thought. Like, if
slightly
it's
cheaper than it's slightly cheaper than the leader toy.
It's cheaper. If it's not going to turn into a gun, why not just find the best Megatron that you like and have it with your 86 Optimus? And that's what I've done, right? This way, he's actually a little bit bigger than Optimus instead of smaller. He's not taller. They're the same height. He just looks beefier, which is always kind of like cool for that whole, hero story. The hero's a little smaller than the villain. Gotta be scrappy and beat him up type of thing. I think they look fantastic together, and I'm happy with it. And that's a weird position we find ourselves in now, and kind of the topic of our show is we have all these options. Sometimes the mainline figures just aren't as exciting as they were supposed to be, right? Like, I probably was part of the target audience to get 86 Megatron because I was willing to say, I don't care that it turns into a tank because he cannot physically transform correctly anyway, right? You cannot have him turn into a gun that is small enough for his friends to hold while also being bigger than his friends. That's not a thing that can happen in physical world. So because of that, I was cool with it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just get the Studio Series 86 one. I'm sure it'll be good enough. And then a better alternative came along. I think it's interesting.
First off, my question before the rest of us kind of start talking on this is, of the people that are on this show, who is excited for Studio Series 86 Megatron and planning on purchasing it?
I've already got it pre-ordered.
How do you have it pre-ordered already? Oh, Walmart. I forgot.
Walmart, yeah.
I already pre-ordered it too. I forgot that I did because I believe that Talib in the Discord, I think, posted a link, and I think I grabbed it and pre-ordered it.
Yeah. How did you do the thing that I also did? I don't remember.
Well, I honestly just it was like muscle memory. Sometimes when I get some of those links online, I'm just like, click pre-order.
Just get tunnel vision.
Right.
So for the record, for those people who are listening, the people who raised their hands were Lucas, Christian, and Phil. Lucas and Christian, who pretty much only collect mainline figures, and Phil, who collects everything in the universe.
I'm a glutton.
He rents
Rob
it.
and I, not so much. We didn't raise our hands.
I mean, well, you know what's funny is like I'm not going to buy this, but I think it looks great. I mean,
It looks good.
I mean, I think it looks better than good. Like if I was into,
I won't give it a grade.
If I was into mainline, I would be super stoked. And I saw the transformation. I thought the transformation looked cool. If they do a repaint that strikes my fancy, I'll pick that up. You know, like the only modern stuff I have is like the like all the G2 throwbacks they've done lately. You know, like the undone decos. I got picked up a bunch of those and just other.
Gotta get safety Megatron.
Yeah, if that is safety Megatron, I'd have to. I mean,
you gotta. You have no choice.
You gotta. Yeah. But you know, if they did a Diaclone homage, I might grab it. You know, the black. But you know, who knows what they'll repaint, right? But that would probably
it's got to be a G2.
I don't. Well, yeah, I wouldn't buy a green one, personally.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I'd like to see a G2 with some remolding, but I'd be shocked if they didn't do this in G2 colors because of the tank.
They kind of
There's no way they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they'll do one of the G2 Megatrons, right? Like, which one is the question?
Yeah.
But
it's Burple.
And then your brain will think both of them are inaccurate while both are accurate, and it'll just explode. Because you'll be like, this one's wrong, it's turned to the wrong robot. This one's wrong, it's turned to the wrong vehicle.
Like, I'm expecting there to be a toy edition or a premium edition, you know, that has like more gray paint on it or something like that. I expect to see some of those things.
Or metallics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
maybe not, but I think there will.
We saw just yesterday or today. I mean, it went on sale today. I don't know when we saw the pictures of the new dramatic capture set from Takara of Thundercracker and you know, the 3 reflectors. So I mean, you know, you're honestly, I kind of think I'm shocked that we haven't seen Studio Series 86 Optimus redone by Takara yet, and you know, some sort of new finish. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get that Megatron from Takara and some sort of dramatic capture or premium finish sort of line thing. Maybe they're waiting for both.
Guess who's coming back from dramatic capture into the American line with better colors? Freaking Blitzwing. Because that dramatic capture Blitzwing looks amazing, and then we had a leak yesterday that there's a Studio Series 86 Blitzwing coming, so I imagine it's, you know, that, or close to it.
I hope he's as different as Springer was. I hope they actually go back and improve him just a little bit.
Yeah, that tank mode leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, they go back and subtract the Hulk hands and just put that into making him just a little bit better.
Fair. I do not want those hands. Did dramatic capture come with the hands?
No, dramatic capture never comes. Dramatic capture never comes with the incorrect accessories. So like the Shockwave didn't come with all the things that helped us make Shocklock back in the day. Right. It didn't come with the weird accessories.
R.I.P. Shocklock.
Yeah, he's still around. Don't worry.
Oh,
he's just taking a nap right now. He'll come out of my bins eventually, but
miss him. He's a good
friend. He's gonna settle down in my new house, and then he'll come back. He'll make an appearance on the show. Everybody misses Shocklock.
Well,
but anywho,
because it's the one that goes with everything else, and of course, I've been collecting for the whole of the collection rather than pieces for a while now, and this is going to be better than Siege. It's the best option we've had in a long time if you're not getting New Age.
I mean, I'm just disappointed because I have how many versions of Siege are we up to now? Like 8, 9?
14.
I think it's 11.
Too many.
Does the Earthrise version of Megatron count as, I mean, it's not Siege, but...
Yes, it counts.
Does it count too? Oh! Well, then I need to get the dramatic capture one then. Shoot.
So, for how many of y'all, are we about to see a big glut of the old Megatron mold? At least, you know, the ones that are in gray, silver colors on eBay.
I just sold my dramatic capture on eBay yesterday.
I don't know.
Well,
I feel
there you
like
go.
Transformers fans really like to collect multiple versions of the characters. And so I don't necessarily know that people are like en masse dumping their old versions of the characters. Maybe I'm wrong.
And if you do like to collect multiple, look at the Transformers character collections group on Facebook, where you'll get roasted for missing some. So
Right.
I do think it's interesting because that Megatron is screen accurate to the Netflix show. So, it is a screen accurate representation of something. I get it. We don't talk about that. That's Bruno. That show is Bruno. But yeah, for some people, it's like I want Netflix Megatron, man. I want exactly how he looked like.
Well, both of them will be really happy. So.
For the people who say that, they don't say it like that, Phil. They say, "I want that Siege Megatron for this war." That's legit how slow they speak in that show. What the hell were they thinking?
So
it's not gravitas. It's
in the chat. There's a question. I was thinking that maybe Anna could fill this one. So apparently there was some leak listings or something.
Come on!
I guess it came out, and I guess that there's like an unnamed like Studio Series 86 Titan coming in 2026. Like and so
the same guy,
the listener,
the same guy earlier, who replied to one of my comments on Discord was, "It's not a fad if it's popular." So this guy's been trolling me all day. And then he's like, "Oh, Anna, I'm sure you want to do the leak list."
It's not a fad if it's popular?
Yeah, that's what
literally what
Discord.
I don't know.
I said, "Are you trolling me?"
Speaking of, what is the actual topic for tonight? Because all I know is, last week, no one had any topics, and I was I got some topics, and they're like, "Oh, Rob, please, give us some topics." So I gave a bunch of topics, and then Lucas is like, "Cool, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to do something else." Oh, thanks.
I like to go about
thanks a lot.
The topic for tonight was what happens when you're exposure to third party and not first party, but not third party, licensed party. Cause you to not be excited about mainline.
Right. I don't feel like for 86 Megatron, that's going to impact it too much.
I just explained how it happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nobody.
That was really where the topic kind of came from is because I'm like, ooh, Studio Series 86 Megatron, that looks really cool. And Anna's like, meh. Like, I already got my... Megatron that I like.
And I was like, you got my black.
I already had him.
That was the weirdest thing, right? Because it wasn't like some third party figure I was thrusting up and being like, what is this?
Oh,
no, it was like, I got Blackie.
Can I speak about a different example that happened to me about 2 years ago?
Yes, because I was going to talk about Reflector, but we moved on already.
I want to talk about Raiden first, though.
Ooh, yeah.
You mean Raiden?
Yes, I do mean Raiden. Not mainlines, Masterpiece technically, but they're sort of mainliney. Bad MPG train bots. They look individually, they look nice. Combined, they look terrible. Moon Studio, I had the whole set of them too. They look nice. They are terrible to play with. The answer is I still have no train bots that I can stand, and I'm very sad about it. I want there to be mainline train bots because then they would be the thing that I want them to be.
Hopefully,
those Legends ones.
Are any of those big Rise of the Beast fans?
Medium-sized Rise of the Beast fan.
Okay.
There's a Legends Raiden?
Yeah.
Or are you saying there should be?
There's Legends right. It started.
Well, it's currently happening.
Oh.
There's 2.
One of the 3 sets to build it is out. Just the leggies. They are very good. Will the others come out? It's been a hot minute.
Will someone oversize them so they're right for me? Because I don't want them small.
They're already great.
Oh, who's doing the Legends Raiden?
Cyan Culture.
If it was Magic Square, Magic Square started upscaling their Bruticus, and so it's like maybe you'd have a chance, right? If it was Magic Square, but
there is. We haven't really talked about these on the show, and this is kind of off topic, but those Cyan Culture figures are very similar to Magic Square's engineering, so much so that I have a feeling there's a strong overlap in the team working on them. The only difference is the hands are not the typical Magic Square hands. So I don't think it's exactly Magic Square, but I think it's mostly Magic Square that made those toys.
Got it. Oh, like
so maybe one day.
A lot of the third-party designers work for multiple companies too. Yeah. Like we've seen some of that too.
You probably don't honestly make a great income just from being a toy designer for one third-party company, so you probably jump around. I don't know that numbers. I don't know
jump
what
around.
Make. But anyway, that's a good point, Christian, about
Oh, sorry.
There are better train bots, right, out there than the mainline or the Takara ones that have been released, right? Both the Moon Studios looks better. The Cyan Culture are actually just straight up better toys, right? They're better Transformers and they look nicer. So there are better options out there for them. I was going to mention that when I got that, I was so excited about that reflector set. You know, the fancy, comes with all the camera parts and the cool...
The one that I made for you.
Yes, you manifested it to come out. And that one was so neat. But I got it. You know I hate that mold, right? I've ranted about it on the show multiple times. The Refractor mold from Siege Times. That is one of the worst toys ever created. The shoulders are in the wrong place and they move incorrectly and they're the stupidest thing in the world. I hate them.
So much worse.
They're horrible. I hate it when shoulders are wrong. When the rest of the toy is good and the shoulders are wrong, I hate it more than anything. So I could not stand that figure, but when it came out in the cool paint and the cool colors, and Reflector was one of my first Transformers as a kid. It was probably my favorite because it was a role play toy and I could play around, pretend to take camera pictures of people, and it was great, right? I loved it. So I was so excited for it. And then I got a hold of the New Age version. Same color scheme, toy color scheme, but they're all right? Like they're not approximations using a different mold that kind of sort of makes the original toy. No, they're two to three separate molds, depending on how different you want to say the side guys are. And they're right. They're in the right colors. They transform correctly. They have the same amount of kibble as the original. They're really fun. And they just made me go, why am I holding on to this mainline trash, right? So it ruined it for me. Like, even though the mainline toy is actually pretty cool, right? It's really neat that they made that set. It was really well done. They tried hard. Just having the third party option just made me go.
I mean, counterpoint, I buy almost nothing mainline. And, I have my Masterpiece Reflector over here somewhere. I think I went with KFC. I used to have the Fans Toys one, but I freaking hate that toy so much. But I still have my Refractor set because I think it is such a cool set. And I like it a lot. And it's like, I have a Masterpiece version. I don't need it, but I'm going to keep it anyways. I just find it so fun. So
I'm glad you hate shoulders.
See, I think that this is the real reason why Anna hates the Megatron, because you said you don't like the shoulders for the Series 86.
No, you're right.
Why my shoulders hurt?
You were totally right. When we were talking about it, I almost gave my quick review of how it looks, which is shoulders are too low, arms look wrong. Why does it exist? Right? So... because that's really what I think about it. Like, the shoulders are just like a centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters too low. They bother the crap out of me. Yep. You know how I am about shoulders.
Like, I'm going to have to bring up a picture again of this thing to be like, what the hell is Anna talking about?
It took me about 3 years to figure out what she was talking about. And I still can't explain it. I just finally saw it one day.
I get it with Star Saber, but I don't see it with this Megatron.
Yeah, Star Saber might have to take over and be the worst toy in the world again. You're right. I gave it to Refractor for a moment, but Star Saber's so bad.
I still think my least favorite shoulders of all time on a Transformer is Generation of Skids.
Okay,
this is
yeah,
not one
they're
that,
bad.
This is not one that you guys would ever get, but I did find the worst shoulders on the Transformer recently. And it's Studio Series Hatchet. That is literally the worst toy I've ever encountered. It's so bad. The shoulders are bad. The legs are bad. Everything about it is bad.
That is such a bummer because I was really excited for it because of its like non-traditional bot mode.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I almost wanted to get it, but then when I started looking at pictures of it as it was coming out, I was like, I think something's wrong with that toy. Like,
It's
I think
really
this
bad.
might be bad.
It's the worst Transformer.
Yes. Winner.
I mean,
oh, okay.
I mean, I guess the shoulders could be a little higher, and it wouldn't bother me, but
I do want to say
fine.
About the shoulders is that the shoulders are in line with the Studio Series Galvatron, because that Galvatron has had, since they first made that Galvatron mold, the shoulders have been too low. And now the Megatron lines up. Before I died, my shoulders were too low. When I was resurrected, they're even lower. Right? It works out. Like it's just it's a progression of the character. Called like character development.
I'm 100% sure that's why it is the way it is.
Yeah, I'm certain. I'm certain.
Yes,
they were like,
sure
we got
that's what they thought.
Yep.
So a few minutes ago, I asked about Rise of the Best, and the reason I did that was so that I could easily segue from Anna's shoulder obsession later on. But the reason I brought up Rise of the Best was that I don't have any of these, but the YOLO Park toys from Rise of the Best looked really good. And to compare Studio Series 86 Megs to the Blockies Megatron, I feel is like a similar comparison to YOLO Park and the Rise of the Best mainline that was coming out at the time. Especially characters like Cheetor looked really good. Primal looked really good. And yet I don't know anyone.
You can't compare statue versus transforming toy. That is against the rules.
We're not.
All right?
Like,
they move.
Rob,
you didn't say anything.
The thing is,
they
Rob,
move. They do stuff.
Yeah.
It's not about.
You know what I mean.
And I just had like a Tim Robbins, like,
Yep.
You sure about that?
It's not.
Are you sure about that?
It's not about comparisons. It's about deciding what you want, right? Like, I'm not trying to say that the Blockies toy is a better product because they're two very different products, right? Like, it's not a better product than the Studio Series 86 Megatron. They are so different, right? One's a model kit. Some people love putting together model kits. Some people would say that's a deal breaker, right? A certain friend of ours have gotten complaints from people that he doesn't pre-build their Blockies when he sells them to them because they don't want to go through the trouble of building a freaking Blockie, which takes all of a minute most of the time, depending on the size, right? Defender 1 minute, regular Blockie maybe 5-10, and then the big Blockies are kind of a long one. Anyway, so some people don't want model kits. It's a very different product, right? But what I'm saying is that when I make my choice of which Megatron do I want in my life, I'm considering everything. And because I consider everything, they kind of outline each other. I did not buy a Optimus Primal toy from the movie, even though I did want one, because I have the YOLO Park one. And it's so cool, right? That YOLO Park toy is fantastic.
I see.
Beautiful.
Well, that's consistency on your part. You're kind of choosing the same thing with the Megatron.
I am in fact consistent. Quirky, but consistent. You learn that if you get to know me.
Some people don't have time to transform things, Rob.
There you go.
But they have time to build things?
Apparently.
That you made a very offensive statement earlier, Anna. You said it's not about, what would you say? It's like, it's not about like comparing. It's like what makes you happy. And this is the internet. It's not about what makes you happy. It's about being correct.
That's right.
That's what it's about. And comparing action figure that doesn't transform versus transformable one, incorrect. And red X on the board. So
yeah, that's right.
Al Gore said when he invented the internet, it's about being the most correct.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. I remember. Remember that quote
right there
in front of the Senate.
Very important.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so,
but
yeah,
I was gonna say though, like kind of tying this back with like third party, right? Like we've gotten 1,000 different Megatrons. We've gotten, there's a new Masterpiece Optimus
of just one mold,
right? Of just one mold, but we've also gotten, we have a new Optimus Prime coming out, right? But like at this point, Are you like, do I really need a fourth Masterpiece Optimus Prime? Because I have all the other ones. I also have a bunch of third-party ones and yada yada down the line.
The new Masterpiece Optimus, the MPG one, like, it's such a departure from what the Masterpiece line and Masterpiece collectors are doing that, like, it's over here. If somebody's getting it, they're getting it, like, in addition to their Masterpiece, or they're buying it because they don't like what the Masterpiece line has been from aesthetically for like 10 years. You know
what? I actually think
it was an easy pass for me. I didn't even think twice about it. Just like, oh,
I
that's
actually
not for
think
me.
that Masterpiece Optimus goes better with the old Masterpiece stuff. Like, I bet you could throw that with the original, like, Datsun that came out and whatnot, and Sideswipe.
Yeah.
And it would look better with those than it does with the ones that came out, like, you know, whatever, within the last few years.
I figured it out, I think, either earlier today or yesterday. That MPG Optimus is an Optimus Prime toy for a Transformers collector, not just like a casual collector, but a Transformers collector who likes to own a lot of toys, but only wants to own one Optimus Prime. Someone who wants just one Optimus Prime in their collection, that's what that toy is for. Because he combines all the Optimuses from across time in a way that he's an homage to what the character has been in various incarnations, takes care of it, and you're done. You don't have to own the shameful number of Optimuses that most of us own, right? So many. I don't even like the character that much, like, specifically. Like, he's great, but not that great. So I think it's great for that. Like, I hope they do more. I hope they do an MPG of this type. Gen style, is that it? Or is it style gen? It's style gen because it's backwards.
I don't think they know what the hell MPG is at all. Right. It's just like, now Holler's coming out with just straight up Inferno repaint after, you know, a decade or whatever. You know, it's just like,
same thing with Ironhide, the Ironhide repaint and the Diaclone colors.
Yeah, I don't know what that line is or why they felt the need to rebrand. I don't know what they're doing. But
I don't care what MPG is. Maybe that's the thing. Like, I think they just want to make fancy Transformers. Takara wants to make fancy Transformers. It's MPG. They do it.
So Talib says he thought that the new Optimus Prime was more Studio Ox, and I mean, I see that. I don't necessarily know that it's 100% accurate, though. To me, I feel like it's almost an MP10 2.0.
I mean, Ox is in the mix
with an Ox in there, yeah.
If I look,
I mean, again, it's
images of Ox, I don't see it. Yeah, I mean, it's what, like, more like kind of older classics or, you know, original Masterpiece used to be, where it's just like an updated version of the character. You know, that a lot of throwback, but if they want to get creative, they're allowed that liberty. Whereas, you know, the Masterpiece line for a while has been, you know, Toon. The end. It looks like Toon. No creative liberties allowed, which I like, but, you know, some people it's not their bag. That's cool.
Can I get a Masterpiece Classics Optimus? That would be cool.
You can get a Legends remake of Classics Optimus, because that did just happen. It's apparently a very good toy. Inexpensive too. Kind of neat.
I actually have a good example. I feel like for a figure that I was not excited about for mainline because of the third party, and
please tell us.
Tarn. The MMC Tarn is 100% better, and so the one that came out in mainline, for a mainline figure, it's fantastic, right? Like, it's really good. A lot of people loved it, but I had a really hard time because I really loved that MMC toy so much that the proportions of that are different than the mainline, and I had a hard time getting over it.
And I love that mold I love that mold in both versions of Bludgeon that they did, both the IDW and the Legacy one or whatever, the green and the orange. I really like that mold for that. But yeah, you're right. For Tarn, I own it. I like more out of obligation than actual like happiness for it.
Yeah, the Iron Factory Tarn is also a better proportions and just style than that. Like both of them do. I love them both, right? Like I went with the Iron Factory because I realized the DJD doesn't matter that much to me, so I like them better small and with the cool combiner gimmick that Iron Factory did. But anyway, yeah, I agree. Like those third-party tarns make the first-party tarn. It's really cool that we finally got, right? That we finally got a first-party tarn. It's really great, but it just made him kind of land with a thud. Whereas it is actually a good toy. Don't get us wrong.
Right.
Yeah, he's too skinny. Like you just turn him sideways, and it's like.
I realized something that third party has influenced me for the Megatron. We've been talking a lot about Megatron, right? But what I've said is that I don't really like his cannon, the 86 one's cannon. I feel like it could be a little bit more accurate. But I've said the whole time that I don't really mind because DNA is going to make me an accurate cannon. So even that, it doesn't exist yet. It will probably exist. We know DNA's pattern. But like that's influencing my decision to go ahead and get this because I'm not 100% satisfied with 86 Megatron, but I will be once an upgrade kit comes out.
That's a good point about what third party can do for your mainline collecting. Is it can make you get something that's mainline that's almost good enough for you, and just knowing that DNA is going to take care of you, or some random 3D print person's going to take care of you, or some other person.
You and I have talked about Devastator in this way too, because you and I both don't like that hole in his chest that's only there because the G1 toy had it.
Oh my god, change that camera, please.
I don't know what the hell is happening.
That was weird.
Today we learned a lot about Lucas.
Welcome to the Late Hair Show.
I have no
if you're
idea
on the
what the
audio
hell
only
is happening.
Be thankful. Just so glad you're audio only.
Anyway,
I don't know what's going on.
Devastator. I think that's going to get fixed with DNA, and I think you and I will both be happy, right now.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I think someone.
Like, I gotta warn people though against. I'm sure we've all seen it. How many times we're like, oh, a third-party kit will fix that. DNA will do that. A 3D print will fix that, or somebody will totally do whatever that is, and nothing happens. That happens all the time.
The one I waited for the longest is finally happening. I wanted Gigastorm forever, and now it's finally happening.
So, I mean, like for what it's worth, I do think DNA kits for Devastator seems pretty freaking likely, right? Like, that one's on the much higher scale, but people really love to throw that around, and then it's like you don't know that until it's announced, But
I mean, Devastator and Megatron seem pretty likely.
Yeah,
man. I tell you though, back to my Trainbot point, the kit that DNA is putting out for them almost made me go because it makes Raiden look so much better.
They did one for
a lot of proportion problems.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's not out yet, but it's coming out soon. But it fixes all the proportions in the middle.
That's a weird.
I don't think you can fix that toy for what it's worth. Not really.
Have a look.
I mean, I will, but
the arms are still a little too stumpy. And
the shoulders are not good, and like it doesn't fix the problems. It just makes it look better. So like it's not a better toy because of it, but it does look better. It's like, ooh, you're gonna get me. And it's like, no, wait, I know your tricks. It's still bad combiner.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a lot less stubby, but a lot of the things I didn't like, I still don't like. But yeah, it's definitely better. There's no doubt.
Almost got me.
You've never handled that full combiner though, have you, Christian?
No,
I just handled one or two of them.
I had two of them, yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard the stability of the main combiner is not exactly delicious.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
And I know that would bother you too, right? Like that bothers both of us. A combiner that is unstable.
Yeah,
there's no reason for that.
It looks super kibbly and not great.
Yeah.
What I find interesting about this topic at all, like, Paul has long, been a little bitch baby about, third parties cannibalizing the mainline, and this is about, like, is mainline cannibalizing itself through other licensed products? You know, like it's not just third party now from outside the sphere. Like Paul has his point of view. I think none of us have numbers, right? Who knows? We're just all speculating because we're nerds and it's fun to argue. I think third party did a lot to keep Transformers going and certain lines going at times when it would have died out. I think it's for the reason Combiner Wars happened, at least when it did. Maybe they would have got there eventually, right? But these days Hasbro totally owns the Chug sphere. People aren't doing stuff in there. If you are, it's add-on kits, right? It's supplemental, very supplemental.
What a roundabout that was. We started with add-on kits. It went to other stuff, and now we're back only on add-on kits.
I almost feel like the issue is that so Hasbro before had their focus on kids, right, with the toys.
Yeah.
I feel like now they're really more focused on collectors, but with that, they're trying to pump out as much stuff as they possibly can, and it's almost
before we die.
Gets right. And it almost gets overwhelming a little bit where you're like, okay, now I have a slightly nicer, XYZ, another Optimus, another, whatever. And so it's every couple of years.
10% better.
Right.
Lucas, what were you and I talking about right before the show?
I don't remember.
Oh, what did you just cancel? And what am I on the fence about?
Oh, yeah. Whatchamacallit? The new Titan figure.
Star Convoy.
Star Convoy. Yeah. I decided to cancel Star Convoy, and mainly because I've had a lot of expenses recently, and I was like, you know what? I think my wife's gonna be pissed if I have another big $200 figure show up at the door. So
yeah, but then what did you and I both say about it? We said we have a Star Convoy from a couple years ago,
right?
And it is good enough for the amount we care about Star Convoy.
That's a really good point, right?
Not a popular character. He just happens to look like Optimus Prime-ish.
I like that it has the micro trailer. I like that it has a tiny hot rod. I think that's cool, but I don't know that I need to pay that price for that guy. I mean, it's $150, but yeah.
Okay.
And then I think on the other side for Rob and I, MMC did a cooler looking Star Convoy years ago that is also not that expensive for what you get. And yeah, it's flawed. You've talked about its flaws before, Rob, but it is
it's super cheap. It's so cheap, and it's
what you get.
It's a fun toy. It's not complex at all. Less of a brick than the G1. Yeah. It also did not sell well. So.
I'm also morally opposed to calling the new Titan one of the 13 because it's not.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm kind of curious to see if that Titan Optimus, or whatever the new Titan thing, ends up going on clearance. Because I could see it a lot of the Titans do. I guess it depends on, which character.
They don't. Do they still? Nemesis?
The last two have
Tidal Wave.
The last couple.
They don't go as bad.
Nemesis
Tidal Wave hasn't sunk super low. Nemesis was a fluke and is impossible to find. But Cybertron Metroplex, that thing you can get for a song.
They do a little dippy dip and then they go up crazy. So is how it seems to be most of the time.
But I think part of it is that's how much they make. So the Cybertron Metroplex, I can't remember what was before Cybertron Metroplex, but they probably didn't make enough of those. And so then they made a ton of Cybertron Metroplex.
Yeah.
And then that clearanced hard, and so then when the next ones came out or whatever, then they're they didn't make as many, the Nemesis and whatever. So I'm betting that there's just not as many physical Nemesis as there are Cybertron Metroplex.
Well, didn't Nemesis fall into the ocean?
Maybe
we've heard that. That's said out loud before by people
with
who may not know.
Grace and DevCon.
But what was I about to say about all this? Oh, I think that's why they that's why they did Optimus first in the new Titan size class. I think that's why they made an Optimus, because they saw it as the lowest risk if it's named Optimus Prime in some way, especially if we say to catch them all of the 13 primes, you got to get this Optimus. I think they did it out of safety to see if the size class was going to work, something between Commander and what we were calling Titan up until now, to see if it would actually work. it's going to be a great experiment, honestly, because that convoy is just, a lot of people don't even know about that, right? I feel like of all the things that big Transformers fans really know a lot about, Transformers the manga, as we call it now, thanks to the way it was published in the US, is just not really something people know that much about. Care. Even after reading it, that character's on screen for all 10 panels. It doesn't do much.
Really, that's it?
Not really.
No.
It's not brilliant literature, right? Like, I enjoyed reading all that, but it was not brilliant literature.
I haven't read them yet. I have them, and I keep thinking one day to go through them, but I know what they're going to be. They're going to,
But I mean, they were
they're going to
basically
be silly.
Yeah, they were basically narrated advertisements in magazines, right? Like, they're not meant to be fine literature you read on the train or whatever, like traditional manga. Yeah, they were just meant to be little tie-in stories that were fun and help sell toys and get hype. So basically commercial plots. But anyway, to the topic of, how having all this stuff kind of affects our collecting, I think it does, though. I've been thinking a lot about the Hot Wheels thing, because Hot Wheels is putting out, vehicle modes, and Hot Wheels is one of the coolest little replica car toy lines that's been there forever, as far as all of us know with our ages. And doing the vehicle modes kind of makes it like, do I need an accurate vehicle Optimus now that I can just get the Hot Wheel that is going to be better than any vehicle Optimus that comes out as far as accuracy to a truck, right? Like MP44 is really great at turning into a truck that's pretty darn close, but this little Hot Wheels one looks a lot more like a real truck.
So you're saying, could you form a better display out of Action Edition Optimus and a Hot Wheels versus getting 2 Studio Series Optimuses if you want both, kind of thing?
Exactly. And as a Transformers collector, that kind of looks cool, right? Like having your full size robot mode guy with his vehicle mode in a smaller size kind of in front of him. I've done that with my Dinobots for years, right? My Dinobot toys, my big cool ones, always have the G1 Dinobots in front of them because those are cool representations of the dinosaur modes. And I've always.
That's interesting.
So I think that gives us I don't think the Hot Wheels is going anywhere because, I think the announcement just happened recently that they're doing some G.I. Joe vehicles now. So I think they're going to keep doing Hasbro licensed stuff.
They got tracks coming.
Tracks is coming, that's true.
Yeah, so I think
I just had to pay for an entire case of that track fleet, one that has Ultra Magnus in it, because I can't find Ultra Magnus. So got a case of them coming if you want the other 5.
That doesn't mean you're going to get Ultra Magnus still. If you have an actual case coming, you will.
But it's an actual case.
Okay. I've ordered a case's worth from Target and did still not.
I ordered 2 sealed cases from Entertainment Earth. They are coming as sealed cases.
Hopefully that works out. Well, then
prepare to be disappointed by white missiles.
I'm okay with that. It's not great. I'm okay with it.
Bug the living shit out of me.
I mean, it's not great, but it's also a $6 toy. So
that's true. So Anna, what's your thought on the Jada Toys Optimus Prime and Jazz and Bumblebee cars?
So what I wondered about those for years, because I kind of for some reason I walk down the toy aisle and I see those and I just kind of nod at them those exist, but they're not the things I would collect. They're not the quality level I need. And the Hot Wheels are, but that thing Christian's holding up right now actually looks quite good, right?
It's real good.
I look at that Jada Toys Jazz there, and it's that's fine. That looks like a car.
There's more than mine.
Better than any.
That is silly.
You just transformed it.
It looks like Han Solo, frozen in carbonite.
It does.
What it looks like.
Yes.
No, this thing's
spoiler alert.
It's not great, but it's a licensed Porsche, which we haven't had a Jazz that's been a licensed Porsche in a long time, and it looks nice. So yeah, I'm happy with it. It was also what, $11 or something like that.
Right. That's the thing. Like that makes a cool display, right? Having that with your Jazz would still be a cool display. Like if you want, and it all depends on how you want to display your
toys.
See
what the actual
right?
display is? It's
there you go.
Seven and Jada together.
Oh man, the poopest Jazz with a good Jazz.
Yeah.
So here's something that I think is interesting, Anna, about how you're doing it and how I kind of look at the Hot Wheels and Jada toys in this. It's like I feel a little bit better, Anna, about the way you've been doing it and the way you're talking about it than Super 7 Ultimates or Red. Because I feel at least getting some sort of tactile play feature with building a model kit gives me more satisfaction than just a straight up action figure and a car. Now I still want the transformation. I still want to have that tactile interface with the toy more than just the building kit will give me. But I can appreciate that significantly more than, again, just a Red figure and a Jada Toys, the toy car.
I think these options have freed me up away from the masterpiece direction, like almost entirely, right? When I see the option of owning, say, I'm never going to buy a little tiny replica gun, but let's say Hot Wheels makes a replica gun.
Well, not when you have so many real guns of your own.
Let's say they make a replica gun for Megatron that's small and I can put it with them. I would much rather own that combination of that and the blocky than MP36 Megatron, which is a great toy, but like as far as am I going to enjoy transforming that thing? No, right? So it's freed me up to, if I really want screen accurate robot mode and vehicle mode figures, they're out there, right? There will be an action figure that is awesome and is Megatron. That's my blocky, right? There will be a Jazz that is a very, very pretty car that Christian just held up a minute ago. And that's freed me up to be able to have, the Jazz toy that's most fun as my transforming Jazz and not worry about it being a perfectly accurate car or a perfectly accurate robot, because I'll find those elsewhere and I can just have the funnest Jazz toy, right? Because I think in a lot of ways, sometimes it really helps me when I can just go back to collecting fun toys as my Transformers instead of worried about accuracy and perfect vehicles. And because perfect vehicles are often paneling messes that make you want to throw it out the window. So sometimes.
But it doesn't transform.
If it's paneling?
But it doesn't transform, Anna.
Yeah, who cares?
The line is called Transformers. It doesn't transform.
I want to own Transformers, but I don't think screen accurate Transformers are necessary for me.
So I wonder, Anna, too, if part of this is that it's something new and it's something that surprised you. Like you weren't expecting these blocky, this new blocky line or whatever to be as good as what it is. And so you get it and you're like, wow, this is kind of really cool. Whereas like, exactly what to expect with a mainline Transformer, especially. And I feel like at this point, like a new masterpiece or third-party toy representation of a character like has to be so freaking amazing to actually impress us at this point. And so like that's why I wonder if part of it is you're like, hey, like this is really good, and it's only like what, I don't know, how much is it, $15 or something? How much is the like blocky figure that you've been talking about?
The Action Edition Megatron?
Yeah,
35.
Yeah. Okay, 35, whatever. Like you're like, oh, it's only $35, like, and and is like so much better quality than what I was expecting. So like, I wonder if maybe that's part of it, is that it's just something new and different, and so it just kind of piques your interest a little more.
I think that can be.
Well, again,
right?
I like
think
building
that's
model
definitely
kits.
we fall into.
I like building model kits, and I think that's why Blockies has been attractive to me. Because I've been building Gundams for some 20 years, so it's one of these things that, again, it gives me that tactile play pattern a different kind of tactile play pattern than Transformers does, and I think that's maybe why Yellow Park hasn't like gotten any of my money yet, because those are almost too simple in terms of the build.
Yes,
Okay.
that's why I haven't, even though that Cheetor looks amazing.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like I need it to do something. Whereas like I don't need a Hot Wheel to do something because they're $1, $2. Like
right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They're a car, they sit there and they can roll if I want them to.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going back to our whole point of the show again. Like, that's one of the things that makes you really happy is Yolo Park has finally done Mirage, right? Since
that's the only
Mirage.
reasonable Mirage.
Rise of the Beast Mirage, right? Like, that character is so cool. I enjoyed him a lot. He's a neat character. He's a neat transformer, but he's possibly impossible to make a good toy of, right? Like, I don't know if even like our best third-party companies are going to be able to make a good toy of that, because that whole Bayverse transformation is already nightmarish in the first place, and he is especially just a really perfect looking robot and a perfect looking car that's really hard to have happen in physical reality. But Yolo Park was able to make a really good bot mode version of him as a toy you can buy, and that way I can have him, right? Like, I don't have to struggle and worry about a third-party company making me a good transforming Mirage, because I can at least have the character.
And if you got like a Hot Wheels thing or whatever vehicle mode thing to go along with it, display it together. It's interesting, right? Because you've always collected, at least the way I understand it, you've always collected for like the single thing. You collect toys that are good or things that you like. Whereas, I collect for the whole. But if you add another category, like as you say, you collect for the display, what looks best together. I mean, that's why I said earlier that you're making an oddly compelling argument to me, because I like to display my whole collection together and make it look good as a whole. So I'm not that far off from building for building for the display.
I thought the best for the display was Movies the Best from 7 years ago. It says Movies the Best in the name.
It does say the best.
That's
the best.
Are you disagreeing with Takara?
No. I was calculating time incorrectly. No, it's 11 years ago, isn't it? Yeah,
something like that.
2014. Anyway,
my other question, Christian.
Display. That's a concept.
I have another question too that kind of wraps, this topic, and then also with some of the leak list stuff. Okay, so you've mentioned before that you feel like most of the stuff that you've bought, you, Christian, that most of the stuff you're bought like is good enough for you. You're not going to upgrade, right?
Yeah.
As we see on this, the Series 86 Megatron, and also on this leak list, we have a lot of characters that came out, in the last few years that they're redoing. Like, so the Blitzwing, I think what is their Wheeljack.
There's a Cyclonus in there.
There's a Cyclonus in there, all that type of thing. So do you feel like, are you going to feel compelled to upgrade those characters? Or do you feel like that what you have now is good enough? Or is it going to be one of those things where it kind of like you're going to pick and choose?
It's got to be case by case. Like just right now, talking about the three that you mentioned. Megatron, yes. Blitzwing, yes, because I really like Blitzwing. And Cyclonus, no, because mine hasn't yellowed. So I feel like I'm okay there.
Right.
Can I ask you a question off that, Christian?
Sure.
Did you end up getting to your Series 86 Galvatron?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I now owned every single version of that Galvatron, and
he's very much a
that.
gosh darn incremental improvement, right? Because it's like the
color's
just a little bit better.
Increment so far.
Yeah, biggest increment so far. So I think they'll get you. Like I think they're going to keep getting, and I don't mean just you either. They're going to keep getting us with these incremental improvements, because that's just kind of their whole business model.
Remember, think back to when we were doing microcasters during Earthrise, and I was like, wow, this Iron Man Ratchet are really good. And we had the Studio Series ones, and I was like, oh, wow, these are good. I didn't think I was going to upgrade. And now I know that eventually they're going to do a non-dead, opaque blue windows version, and it's going to be like damn it, I'm gonna want those because they'll look better with the painted windows than the clear windows. And I was like, am I really gonna do a whole collection switch out for windows? The answer is yes.
Yep.
I don't want to though. The answer might be maybe. It depends on where I am at the time. But
now she has a pink hat. You got to rebuy it.
I love pink hats.
Right? I mean, I know how you feel about a certain humanoid figure line with rubber band waist. However, like, I'm sure you saw the pictures of the new Jetfire that comes with the Void Rivals, right?
You know, I considered it because I was like, oh, he's got opaque windows. Dang it, is that going to be a thing? But that'll be the third Jetfire I bought because my first one yellowed, so I bought a reissue.
But his colors look better in general too.
Colors look better, except he does not have a colored in Autobot symbol.
But okay, so I want to ruin you. I want to make you have to think about this harder. When we're done tonight, go look up a picture and zoom in on his face. They did so much work to make that face look better that now I have to get it. Right? I just zoomed in on that and I was like, damn it, look at the way just a little more paint and detail they brought out the wonderful sculpt on that face that they had just neglected with not enough colors before. Now I gotta get the new one.
You know what's really wacky to me in this particular instance is that I feel like they really did Skyfire in Jetfire colors on that Commander release, and now it's Skyfire Skyfire colors.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same. It's not the same thing. It should be the same thing.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel not crazy if someone else says it too.
I think
what
you're
is
right.
the line that new Jetfire's in? I know I saw a packaged picture of it, but what is
it's
it?
San Diego Comic-Con.
It's a Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yeah. Void Rivals version.
2 Void Rivals characters.
And guess who just bought a whole bunch of Void Rivals comics on Whatnot?
Was it Christian?
Did you?
It was Christian.
I know that guy.
Read them things?
What?
Better read them. Better read those comics. But then you're gonna have to get Solila and Durak to go with it. You're gonna have to.
And then you gotta get Sprung.
When they come in the box.
They come in the box, yes.
Okay, so.
But you're gonna get them. You're gonna touch them. And you're gonna be like, "Ew, these feel like GI Joe." Ew. And you're gonna throw them.
It's probably what'll happen. Yeah, my hand will fall off or something.
It probably will. I'm excited for that set, by the way. Like, I think it's cool that they're doing it. It's almost 2 years late, but
you know what I really like about that set? It does not come with blast effects.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's true. At least not that we've seen. Like, there might be some hiding in the box, but if they are,
so I'll tell a quick story on that set. I'm excited for it. I'm going to buy it, and it's just like that Jetfire toys and Jetfire in general / Skyfire has kind of perplexed me over the last several years. Is that I got the Siege Jetfire, I liked it. It was fun, and then they did the MP, and I'm like, it looks okay. It looks pretty nice, and like, but it's expensive. And then it went on sale on Pulse at like 35% off. It's like, oh dang, it's like $180. And that toy, like Rob and Paul, you both liked it, and it's big. And I ordered it, and it's just been sitting in its box for years. And every time I go to Paul's and see it standing up on a shelf, like, I don't like that. I don't like that
Why'd
at
you
all.
buy it, Ding Dong?
Because I thought, like, oh, it's MP, it's going to be better. You know, you guys said such great things about it.
We like Masterpiece stuff, though. So
I know, so do I.
I
also like Masterpiece stuff. I just like, and then in the interim, I sold my Siege Jetfire because I don't need this anymore. And so now I'm attempting to sell my MP Skyfire, and I will replace it with the Void Rivals Jetfire.
Yep.
You do you, fam.
I just feel like, granted, I'm saying this having not sold the MP Skyfire, but I'm saying, like, you know what? This is one of those times where, you kind of like made some poor choices, and it still might work out in my favor.
I let that bygones be bygones. I try not to. I know some people, like, they buy the thing and then they see it go on sale 6 months later, and they're like, "Oh!" And it's just like, "Man, you've had it for 6 months." Like,
I mean, this is the difference between, like, there's a difference between, like, buying something and then you see it on sale later versus, like, selling something you liked and buying something that you thought you'd like better, and then you don't actually like it better, and you have, you're upset that you sold the thing that you already had and did like.
I guess you just got caught up in the hype, and you weren't true to yourself.
You generated, dick.
I'm hype about it. I think it's dope as hell. I think it's a great figure.
It's Christian and Lucas and Siege Optimus all over again.
Oh, Mike in the comments actually kind of circle back with this perfect segue for this topic, right? Is that he says that Fan Toys Jetfire is so much better than the official. So there you go.
Yeah. And
I did have that
a lot
one
about that,
in
and I
MP.
kind of feel like the Fans Toys Phoenix, yeah, you're right. It might be better.
That toy was great.
I mean, Fans Toys Phoenix is a great toy. Like, I'm not going to argue that, but I think the Takara one is better for what it's trying to do. But I don't know. They're both great toys, and they both look great.
But I also feel like that there wasn't as much excitement around the official Masterpiece because Fans Toys have been out for so long, and then we also got a mainline one too. I think the combination of that, like a lot of people were just like, yeah, I'm good. And so like, yes, you had people that ended up buying it, but like the fact that Phil could even get it for 35% off, like, tells you that it's not like it was like selling like hotcakes, but like that original Fans Toys figure sold out multiple times. And I'm sure that the third party, I realize the third party runs are not the same as Masterpiece runs, but like still, I think that there was just more hype for that over the years. And then by the time they actually did an official one, you're like, okay, cool. But,
And what's funny is
and I just think it's a little too slavish to the animation model, where he kind of just looks fat in the animation model, and I think there's
a lot of us that love that,
and I get it, and I'm not trying to fat shame you. I'm just saying, like, I prefer the proportions that are kind of like a little more like, let's just give him a little bit more of a triangle shape in the body versus the oval shape in the body.
Then you should get Fans Toys Phoenix. Which is still like $200 on eBay, even though it's been reissued. They did multiple runs of it, and there's a Masterpiece, and there's a Siege out there these days. It's like I think it lost some of its value, but it's $200 for an MP figure is not bad at all. So.
I mean, but there's also a group of Fans Toys fans that if you try and sell it for under $200, they will find where you live and beat you up and make you take down the listing or increase the price.
The Fans Toys cartel.
Yeah, they're rough.
We don't talk about them. They're another Bruno situation.
Yeah, no,
everybody guard your knees tonight.
They're Fight Club level. Don't talk about kind of thing.
I'd like to sabotage myself real fast here, if I may. Coming into the show, we started talking about, we're going to do a leak list show instead of the topic I wanted to do, and I was like, ew, leak list. I don't like talking leak lists. So we didn't really get to the leak list tonight, which is awesome. But there's one thing for the leak list I just really want to throw out there so that we can.
No.
I'm doing it.
That's another show.
You don't get to talk about leak lists.
I don't care.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
All right.
I'm doing it.
End it, Lucas.
I want to hear what the heck you guys think that Age of the Primes Deluxe Jalopy is. I just want to hear it. What is Deluxe Jalopy?
Wait. So not only are you doing the leak list, you're doing leak list speculation? Jeez.
I'm betraying myself. Yeah. That's right. I'm my
all
own worst
enemy. All right,
so
so at this point, Christian, go ahead and read the full leak list. Like, let's just go.
No, Jalopy.
No. Let's save that for another episode.
We'll do that next week.
I do want
to.
Can we spend like 2 minutes talking about the next Transformers HasLab that kind of got teased the other day?
No, we're ending on a joke here.
They got teased.
What do you guys think a Jalopy is?
It got teased officially by Hasbro. What was it, yesterday? We're gonna get an alt mode and a HasLab alt mode Snowcat. It sounds like.
Shut up.
That's all he wanted. That's where he was looking for.
No, I think you win. You get to end on a joke anyway. We're good. I still want to talk about Jalopy, but that's all right.
I think it's a sleeper for Masterpiece Scrounge is what it actually is. So
it's this guy's car from Rescue Bots.
Nice.
Mark
Okay.
Hamill.
Okay, yeah, it's
Mark
Mark Hamill's
Hamill.
car from Rescue Bots.
Yeah, he's Chief Burns' brother.
I'll
There you
take
go.
it.
It's a Joker mobile.
Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you to everybody in the chat. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad that it seems like that overall this seemed like this was much better at least than last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. Whenever we did the last one with the video ninja stuff that just did not work at all. So
Good stuff.
Seems like this actually is somewhat stable. So anyway. All right, well, thanks guys, and we'll see everybody. I don't know if we're doing a show next week or not because I'll be gone, but if we can get someone to cover for me, then we might. So, all right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.